My name is Wilma Holi. I'm from Hanapepe, and
Mrs.
I'm
Holi.
here as a witness.
Thank you, and you're the hearings officer's witness, just to
Correct.
give you an identification, but you're not testifying on my behalf, the hearing officer.
Correct.
You are in fact testifying as a witness,
Correct.
whatever you wish to say.
Your exhibits that you have, it's identified Exhibit Z-1-A. That is your April, I believe, 16, 2015 letter to the Special Board of Regents meeting.
Correct.
Okay. And it is attached as an exhibit. And I just want to ask you, Auntie, what is the significance of that letter?
It was to give everybody notice
And notice of what?
that they are heirs to the land.
Okay. And you being one of those heirs.
Correct.
Okay. And if I
And
understand...
that and the other notice was vested interest. This thing called vested interest.
Okay. I also believe you were saying notice that this land still belonged to the Hawaiian Kingdom.
Correct.
Okay. If I might then ask you, I believe you provided an Exhibit Z-1-C, and that is the map of Hawaii Island.
Correct.
Okay. And it's highlighted the green area, government lands, and the yellow areas as crown lands.
Correct.
Can you tell me what is the significance of you attaching that as an exhibit?
To put everybody on notice.
Again, of the same thing you just said,
That's
that
right.
you have family connections to
That's
the
right.
land, as well as that it belongs to the Hawaiian
Correct.
Kingdom.
And
Okay.
the government lands belong to the Kingdom of Hawaii.
Okay.
I want to make that distinction very clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mrs. Holi, Auntie, if I may, what is your position on the proposed construction of the TMT on Mauna Kea?
It's a wawakua.
Okay. And I think I understand it, but if you might explain for the record what Wawakua is.
A wawakua is a sacred place where the gods reside. Where the gods reside.
Okay.
And if I may go back in a little bit of history, I read somewhere where the grandson of Noah, whose Polynesian name was Nu something something, and the wife of Nu is Lilinoi, and the grandson Ahu is the one that discovered Kaho'olawe. Now Ahu is 12th generation from the beginning of man. So I asked myself, if there are that many Hawaiians that populated Hawaii, where were they buried? Yeah.
Okay. And I don't want to assume, but can we at least clarify for the record that because Mauna Kea, and in your letter to the regents as well as the map, you've indicated and put them on notice that it not only is that you have vested interests as a descendant,
Correct.
but that these are crown and government lands belonging to the Kingdom of Hawaii.
Correct.
Can I then clarify, is it fair to say then you don't believe that the building of the TMT on Mauna Kea is appropriate, or that the state has any authority over these lands? State of Hawaii. Is that
No.
fair? Is that fair to
Yes.
say?
Yes.
Thank you, Auntie. If I might address you to what you identified as Exhibit Z6, and that is the mele, the Na'ali'i,
Oh.
the chiefs, the Samuel Kua Hivi.
Right.
Yes. If I may ask you, Auntie, what is the significance of your attaching that exhibit to your testimony?
Well, sometimes we need to remember
Okay.
what was said back then, as Hawaii and Hawaiians were undergoing this great upheaval, and the impact it had on our health, not only our health, but our well-being.
Okay.
Yeah.
Auntie,
And it carries on even till today. I mean, from being the most literate country in the world to having the worst statistics nowadays, it kind of indicates how far we've fallen.
if I may ask you, do you have an opinion as to whether the proposed construction, if it is allowed to be built, will it have an impact on the well-being, the physical, mental, spiritual well-being of the Native Hawaiian people?
I think that goes without saying.
Okay. I had to ask, Auntie.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, would the Vatican have built their telescope in the Vatican?
I would hope not.
Would they build it at Jerusalem Wall?
No, Popo.